So would you say that AI chatbots are actually useful?
It is. Effectively, if you look at Canara Bank has used it, Axis Bank has used it. So we have seen chatbot.
What does the future of retail banking look like with AI now?
It's predictive intelligence, isn't it? See, if you're able to forecast the need analysis of individual or a group of individual or society, that's predictive intelligence. AI can
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Green Generation podcast, where we decode how finance, sustainability, and responsible actions can contribute to everything sustainable. I am Shruti Seetharaman, a media entrepreneur and your host for this episode and all of the episodes of Green Generation, because I'm also curious about how we can be more sustainable in our everyday lives. And joining me today in conversation is Dr. Seetharaman, who is a global thought leader, an author for corporate consciousness, and someone who is always wants to advocate for how innovation can be responsible, but also sustainable for everyone that is listening. So I'm going to talk about a very simple question that today's topic is about, whether is your bank actually smarter than you, or more importantly, is it watching you? So I'm going to dive into questions about AI and retail banking. Just for context. So what does AI actually do in retail banking?
AI is a very powerful tool to have constant support for retail enhancement, whether patterns in terms of analytical behavior of the customer or repetitive task automations, and again simplify the process without manual interventions, because these are transaction based processing. So AI plays a significant role. State Bank of India has got SIA as a tool, very powerful tool, is a model for such large scale network, saving time, cost and efficiency in terms of the overall big picture. So AI is a very good tool.
So no longer when you call a chatbot or like when you call centers, press 1 for English, none of that.
Not required. It's boring.
My God, because they take so much of your time by the time you listen to all of the information and actually get through the process to the final end. I'm telling you, that's more larger part of your call than the actual call.
That's right.
But that is great to know.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does AI protect us in the UPI era that we live in right now?
UPI era is a major success. If you look at the constant payment systems have been improvised, even smallest transactions from a microfinance can be settled. The payment system has been so scientific, but responsibly should be used. That's where the banks like Kotak or Axis or ICICI have put into a framework, deployed effectively, and it's supporting even microfinancing or even NBFCs for that matter, like L&T.
So how are instant loans even possible right now?
Instant loan is possible simply because it is speed and efficiency can come on a transaction-based processing. The criteria have been well defined. So it's a checklist. It's a manual intervention. Systems says eligible, set in tone criteria, and then gives you the wisdom to make that call automatically. Only the exceptions are thrown. Otherwise, instant.
So would you say that AI chatbots are actually useful?
It is. Effectively, if you look at Canara Bank has used it, Axis Bank has used it. So we have seen chatbot is saving time for repetitive tasks, whether it's HR or a business process or customer queries. If you program the information and then periodically revise it as and when it's required, policies or procedures or process or products, a chatbot will have an extraordinary efficient administration in terms of retail banking.
The bigger question is, does AI actually judge how we're spending our money?
Yes, AI can, whether it's food or transport or travel. It can see where you are using your credit card or other payment mechanism. So then the pattern evolves. Then it can tell you where you are excessive, where you are outside the budget, where it is over your capacity. And excessive spending can always be rationalized for the coming months. So it's a useful tool.
Okay, and for our listeners that are watching that might be either rural bankers or first-time bankers rather, how does AI play a role?
Microfinance, if you look at it, it's small, time consuming if you're doing manually. The criteria are well defined, whether business lending or individual proprietary lending based on the capacity to repay. AI can measure the information and gives you the analytical interpretation for you to be responsible. So inclusion in terms of finance. At the same time, the pattern is known to you, the market dynamics and the rural capacity is known to you. So all sort of economic as well as banking finance, microfinance is inclusive norms in today's context through AI.
Okay. And now what we want to understand is AI actually considered safe under the RBI regulations?
Absolutely. The digital governance RBI has set in the design in terms of the convenience and also responsible banking, AI banking is a good governance, security conscious, and ensure consumer protection as well as stakeholders protection, including the institution and regulatory alignments are an integral part of the overall setting. So the design is professionally executed, in my opinion.
Okay. And now the question is AI genuinely contributing towards sustainability or is it just about profits?
It is contributing.
Yeah.
Why it's contributing? Because you have a rural finance today through AI. Financial inclusion is taken care. To a large extent, whether it is food security or poverty alleviation, it adds value because of economic expansion in rural areas matters. And the digital advantage in terms of payments and settlements is a major convenience through UPI or other means. So it is a tool for ESG. It is a tool for enhancement of the upliftment of the marginalized society.
Yeah. And now I think we've spoken about this in so many different ways of how AI replaces jobs, but obviously the bigger risk and always will be, I think, is job risk when it comes to AI because it can replace smaller jobs. We've spoken about how it can actually push you also further to enhance your skills. It creates an opportunity for you not to limit yourself because if that can be replaced by AI, then learn something that is not replaceable, right? But do you want to redwell on this topic in
It
terms of AI?
transforms. It upgrades human beings. The state of the world is improving.
Yeah.
The positive interpretation is real. So what we require is human prosperity. AI can be a great enabler in that perspective. So AI is a tool where you can see repetitive tasks can be automated and you can upskill the individual and he does a higher job. So that's how you lift the small person to come up in the value chain. So it's a useful enabler.
What does the future of retail banking look like with AI now?
It's predictive intelligence, isn't it? See, if you're able to forecast the need analysis of individual or a group of individual or society, that's predictive intelligence.
Yeah.
AI can be a great enabler. If I have to buy a car, if I'm thinking, the next minute I get an information from the bank saying that, do you want to buy a car? Here is a car loan. If you want to buy a house, you want to buy a house, we can give you a housing loan, right? When you have, with the age specifics, you want a risk management cover through insurance, you have medical spending patterns are visible. So do you want a medical insurance? So if AI can give you all these products, it's predictive intelligence. Eventually, and that's what we want. The need needs to be fulfilled. If someone is, at an age where he has to get married, so marriage loan can be an option. Small ticket, startup loans can be an option. And again, medium-sized entrepreneurs can be supported. So all sort of support systems springs out of this tool.
Yeah.
So the needs of society is predicted, and then forward-looking dynamics starts in terms of lending or credit creation, and then prosperity of the individual or institutions. Or
so the more like what I think should be our parting question is that fast forward to 10 years, do you think we can even do banking without AI? Or even now, starting off?
Why should you do without banking?
No, without AI.
See, you have a tool. When you have you can always walk, but there are buses available, cars are there. So you choose your way forward. So it's a tool. There's nothing to, you don't need to neglect. It's a great enabler. The positive interpretation is quite productive. That's what the world is going to be. In every segment, in terms of sustainability, AI in sustainability it plays a very big role, significant role, in terms of food security, in terms of poverty alleviation, in terms of education, in terms of healthcare, in terms of people living. Standard of life is improving. And society becomes intelligent, you can see the value chain becomes more meaningful. It gives you enough, upliftment to society. India has pulled out over 200 million people from extreme poverty line in the last 10 years. That says it all. That's a model, financial inclusion model. And technology played a role, significant role in the whole frame.
Yeah.
And with the constant upliftment of the technology, inclusion of the AI into the financial inclusion model, society is going to be enriching in long term. And again, the lower income people will become middle income. So state of the world will improve, state of the country will improve, state of the continent will improve. So it's all highly recommended.
Yeah. And I think it's safe to say that if AI is the new banker, then what's more important is to make sure that it is more sustainable, inclusive, responsible, all of that, right?
Purposeful.
Yeah. And that is the green generation way.
Absolutely. That's why we are giving you this interesting conversation, how AI is impacting the world. This is a series of deliberations we have to enhance the state of the world in terms of banking or trade or finance, and making sure our collective endeavor is to recognize this opportunity and make the most out of it for your greater prosperity.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, especially to someone who you think still stands in bank queues. And remember, the future isn't coming, it's already here. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next one.